I need to sit down here. I don't know if I can bend down this low and talk.
How are you?
Good.
Coach, you got water?
Yeah.
So how was the, I guess, the first scrimmage today, right? How did it go?
I think the first real scrimmage was productive. I thought we got a lot out of it. Like everything, there's some good things on both sides of the ball at times, and a lot of things to shore up. The key is, being able to train yourself to play in game-like situations, put pressure on yourself to perform, demand the best from yourself, do it every single play, be able to focus and come back and do it, whether you're made a good play before or a bad play. And those are things you all got to just train yourself to do. The next guy's got to be ready to go. We got to build some depth. And then we just got to keep some of these guys healthy. So it's good to get good live action, and it'll be fun to watch the film and see who really stood out and who didn't.
What was the format? I mean, do you do ones versus ones? Do you do a lot? And I'm assuming you want to get a lot of the young guys in there also.
Well, I like to go ones on ones. So we went good on good all day long. We've been doing that all camp. I want us to get the best and hardest look we can, so that's been good for us. As we get closer to the game, we'll taper back on some of that, but that was good. Some of the action was live tackle, which was good to do that, and some of the action was thudding it up and kind of putting the ball where we think the stop would be. So I think it was productive, and other than a few guys coming up with some ankles and hammies, we got through it pretty good, I think, to this point.
What do you like so far that you've seen from your team since you started practicing?
Well, I do think on offense, our offensive line has improved, and we've added competition. I think that we've got some young tight ends. We just got to push them to keep getting better and growing. And Joey Gatewood's been a new one that is just learning the position, but he is athletic. So we got to figure out what he can do and utilize him. The receiving corps, when they're on and they know what to do, they've been productive. Just got to continue to educate them on all the nuances of what we have to do. And the running backs have been solid. So that's been pretty good. On defense, we've had some good moments. This maybe wasn't our better day. I thought we gave it too many big plays. So we got to see what exactly happened there. But I do want to, be aggressive in how we play defense, challenge routes, get after the quarterback, make sure he knows we're going to hit him, and go from there while trying to eliminate all the big plays. So I think keeping some certain guys healthy on that side of the ball will be important.
The defensive line, your thoughts on how they've progressed? It's kind of hard when we're watching the camp here, but once you get into a scrimmage, your thoughts on how they look today?
Well, I think we have some depth there, which is good, led by Aston Gelati. I think Stephen Herron has stood out. He's a little nicked up right now, but he stood out for making some plays, and they have a ton of experience. And then we've got some guys behind them that are making progress, and quite a few interior guys that we just need to identify who's going to be the standout and guy that's going to make plays whenever we need him to. So that's been good to see that, and they've got to be productive. I think that we have capable guys, and we got to put them in position to succeed and make plays.
Jeff, you mentioned the tight ends. Obviously, the half that you've been here to there, still kind of learning the position at the collegiate level. I guess what concerns have been addressed as far as that position goes so far in camp, and where do you feel like those guys stand right now?
Well, I think that we have some young ones that have played a little bit and some not much that in time I think can be productive. They just got to show up exactly what to do and know how to do it and be able to communicate it and just play as hard as they can. I think we've added a couple pieces in a young Jamari Johnson, who is big and athletic, and then Joey Gatewood, who's athletic. We have to maybe have a certain package for them because they can be productive in the passing game and do a few things in the run game. So that is an interesting position that we'd like to have and be productive in it, but we've got to be a little unconventional this year and maybe by design and by play utilize what they're good at compared to just letting them do everything.
Coach, a lot of the guys on the defense, specifically the secondary, have spoken about kind of the perspective that you bring, being someone that's played the quarterback position to that. Coach English spoke about it before too. What have you been sharing with the defense and kind of their outlook, especially that secondary?
Well, I really like our secondary. I like our defensive coaches. They've been there. They've done that. They understand what we're trying to do. I study the game and look at things and watch things, and it's up it's important that I relay things that I see and that affect us, that I think affect other offenses. So I'm constantly in communication with that. I want us to think outside the box a little bit and not just do things that you did 15 years ago because it worked then. So that's constant communication, and we want them to be aggressive. We want them to challenge routes. We want them to be not afraid to make plays. We want to have a little bit of backyard in you where you're reading the quarterback's eyes and you have a little bit of gamemanship. But at the same time, you can't give up a ton of big plays. So I just think we try to relay what we're seeing, what we're doing, what combinations go together. They need to study it. And that end needs to play well for us. In order to win in this conference, the back end needs to play well.
Coach, as far as Jack's progression over camp, what have you seen improvement-wise from him, and maybe what else does he have to work on to the point where you feel confident going into that opening matchup?
Jack's done a really good job. He's a great leader. He understands our system. He can see the field. He can make all the throws. Just consistency, being able to do that all the time is the goal, and that's with really anybody. Sometimes third downs, third and longs, he'll get a little greedy and force a few things. We've got to just be smart, take our chances, but also get completions, move the chains, don't turn it over, all those things. And I just think that is something that he just has to work on. But he can get hot and he can make a lot of plays, and we've just got to get him in a rhythm and let him do his thing. But he has been a great leader. He's been really good with his teammates, and I think he'll give us everything he's got.
How was Jack? How was he today? And did he get most of the reps? Or like that battle behind him seems pretty good as well.
Well, a lot of guys got reps at quarterback. Jack got quite a few, but so did the others behind him, and they all made some plays. But I did think Jack played well. Like I said, he might have had one or two or three that he may have been a little greedy with, but he played well, and I really want to build this thing around him so that he can have a great year. And we can win football games, because obviously that makes a quarterback look even better.
You have talked about years when you've had to use 3 and 4 guys there. Do you feel pretty good about the other guys right now where they're at?
I do. I think Brock's played a lot of football. It's a new system for him, so he's got to just continue to understand things. Evan actually is a really good athlete, so there may be packages that we want to use with him because he is such a good athlete, a good runner. He's played some football. And then behind him, all of it showed some decent things. Pierce at times made some good plays. Brady Allen continues to improve. Why am I going blank? Harrison Bailey, you know what? He's had a good camp. He can stand in there, make throws, see the field, and he's done some really good things. So that position, as you guys know, is important. You'd like to have one that's really good, but others that are ready to go. And if you can get through the year with one, great. But we've had many years where we can't. And if that other backup position is not ready to go, it's going to hurt the team. So I think we've made progress there.
You mentioned the offensive line first, and something that you've been pleased with. Is it as a unit, or their pass blocking, run blocking? What has been impressive about them?
Well, we had a few too many penalties today, which we'll have to clean up. It was good to have referees out here, and it hurts some drives, hurts some series, and you're only going to get maybe 12 series a game, so you can't have those things. So that we got to clean up. But there is more depth. There's more guys we can rotate in there. There's more competition. When we first got here, between Brian Hudson and Michael Gonzalez and Ronaldo Brown, those are 3 really good players. And some have played more than the others, but they're 3 really good players, and we have to keep them healthy, and they have to play well. But we've added some more guys to the mix that have stood out. It's increased the competition for the ones that were here as well. And I think we have more depth there than I'm used to. It's just a matter of, at the same time, you can put 5 on the field, and the ones that are on the field need to play at a high level. So they need to figure out a way to be dominant at what they do and be an all-conference player.
You mentioned some guys getting nicked up during the scrimmage. After a couple weeks, how's the team setting health-wise going in there?
We've had some nicks. Unfortunately, MJ Griffin will probably be out for the year with a lower leg injury. D'Angelo Hutchinson will be out for an extended period of time, so that hurt the depth there a little bit. Stephen Heron has been nicked up, should be back next week, and a handful of others that are out for a short period of time. But overall, you don't want to lose anybody, and we've just lost a couple, and we've got to try to keep it where we don't lose anybody for the full season.
You mentioned the wide receiver. You said they've been a little inconsistent. And do you've got the talent and the depth there? Is it just a matter of getting them consistent? Do you like what they've been doing when they are consistent?
I think they had a better day today. I think really when it comes to receiver play, they can make the plays, they can make the catches, they can run the routes. It's just understanding the system, being able to react quickly, see coverages, adjust at times, and be precise in what they're doing, and then catch the football. So I think when our guys are precise on their route running and they are doing it full speed, they know exactly what to do, they've done a good job. I think we have had a few times where maybe we dropped a few more than we'd like, but you know what? We just got to continue to work through that. But they made quite a few plays today, and I like the competition. We feel like we have at least a handful of guys to put in the game that can play football for us, and that has provided good competition. And once again, there's one ball. So between a couple of good running backs we have, the good receivers, we got to figure out a way to give everybody as many touches as we can and put the ball in their hands.
One more for Joe.
Keith obviously brings a lot of experience to that linebacker room. You have some young guys who show some promise. What have you seen from that group in particular and has kind of stood out?
Well, I do think Keith has done a good job. We got him here late, but he's come on here the last few days, and he needs to be a productive player for us and be on the field. I think that there's a lot of guys at that spot that haven't played a ton, but they've made progress. And right now it's a close competition. So to say we have a true standout right now, bona fide guy that we can depend on to be dominant every game, I'm not sure if we're there yet. But we do have about 5 or 6 that have the ability that they continue to work through things. You'd like to see a few emerge, and I like the competition we have.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Good.
Thanks, sir.
So you